Hey. This is HQ with our little soft launch of the Love Check starting on September 18th, right? So, this is a new series or a new series that will be starting on the HQ Reacts channel. That's what we're hoping because, we always got to come up with something else. HQ gets bored, so HQ is going to start a different thing, right? So, we have the Love Check. Love Check is starting September 18th. So, welcome to Love Check. This show is designed to help people figure out if they're ready for marriage. Today's dating world is filled with people who are confused, lies, have truths, and games. But marriage is different. Marriage is a lifelong partnership. Or at least it's supposed to be, right? And before you step into that commitment, you need to be very brutally honest with yourself and your partner. That's what this show is all about. Cutting through the surface talk and asking the questions that really matter when you want to get married, right? So, the need for this show. Well, we created this show because too many people jump into relationships without ever discussing the hard things. Trust, sacrifice, money, respect, values. By putting tough questions out in the open to people, we're not only helping couples, people who want to get involved, prepare for marriage, right? We're also giving single people the tools to evaluate potential partners more wisely, better. And if you can't answer these questions, you can't answer these 10 questions that we are going to set forth. If you cannot answer these questions honestly, you're probably not ready for a lifelong commitment, right? And if you can answer them honestly, then you're setting yourself up for a love that might last or a commitment that might last. Okay. The honesty. Why it would be honest, or it's an honest endeavor. Now, here's the deal. Honesty is everything to the integrity of Love Check. Okay. People who come up will be asked to give a real, unfiltered answer to the questions that we have. Right? No sugarcoating, no dodging, no talking points. People know I hate talking points because the truth is, if you can't be honest here in front of an audience, how will you be honest in a marriage? And I want to model that today by answering these questions myself so you can see how this works before future guests join the show. Now, how the audience can play along, how you guys can play along. It isn't just about the guest. It's about you, the audience. You're not just watching, you're participating, okay? We want you to answer the questions too. Drop your answers in the comment section. Or if we go live, which I want to go live on September 18th, you can send them through super chats. $5, we can change the question. We can change the guest question and regular super chats apply, right? And here's where it gets interesting, right? If you want to move a question up the ladder, we're going to require a $5 super chat or more. That means you, the audience, control the flow of the show. You decide if we keep digging for more answers from the guest. So if you want more answers from the guest, or they answered something that was incorrect, or you didn't think it was fleshed out directly or right, you can send a super chat and we can dig into it. And with your question, we can dig into it better. And most shows that I know don't do that. Most shows have a format in which they ask questions. We're going to have audience participation with this show. Now, we also encourage you to play along with your own answers. If you want your own answers read on air, attach a $2 super chat to it, and we will highlight your thoughts on air for everybody to see if you have thoughts about X, Y, and Z. Think of this as a group therapy session, or it meets therapy meets reality TV. Except the audience is part of the process. You're not just going to create honest and sometimes uncomfortable questions. You're gonna help shape the show. You're gonna help to shape the show in which you want the conversation to go, how you want the conversation to flow, how you think truth and honesty can come out of the answers that a person gives, right? So, without further ado, we're gonna present 10 questions. We're gonna present the 10 questions. Okay. Let me see. Let me pull them up. Okay. The 10 questions for the show. Number 1, when you and your partner disagree, what's your usual reaction? Do you talk it out calmly or do you shut down and get defensive? This reveals emotional intelligence in our guest, the maturity in our guest, the communication style of our guest. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, Ty Pro, what's happening? This is the soft launch of LOVECHECK. I'm giving the instructions and giving some of the questions. Number 2, if you mess up in a relationship, do you own it? Do you take accountability? Do you apologize? Do you make it right? Or do you blame your partner? This shows accountability and self-awareness. Most people try to shift the blame because they don't want to feel guilty for doing something. We want to see if our contestants, take accountability. Number 3, how do you handle your partner having opinions, habits, or beliefs that are different from your own? Okay. This is open-mindedness versus being rigid in your thinking and potential for controlling behavior. We all have a love language that represents our idea of love. Is that important to you and why? Okay. Question number 4. Would you put your partner's needs ahead of your own sometimes, or do you always expect things to go your way? This shows maturity, trustworthiness, and honesty. No, I'm sorry. Wrong answer. This shows selfishness, empathy, and balance in a relationship. Now, follow-up question I have is, men say women are selfish, women say men are selfish. Who is more selfish and why? That is what we're digging for with that question. Number 5, how do you handle money in a partnership? Do you communicate, plan together, or do you keep your own money to yourself? This reveals maturity, trustworthiness, and financial honesty. Should a financial plan be talked about before you move in together? Or do you want to keep your money separate so you don't want to get played for your money? Which one is it? Question number 6. Do you believe men and women should follow traditional roles, or should couples decide together? How do you feel about respecting your partner's choice? What if you're a traditional person and they're a modern person? Okay. But this reveals your potential for misogyny, for misandry, or rigid gender beliefs and roles. Which one is better? Modern thinking or traditional thinking? If at all, either one, do you think less of a modern woman or man? And why? Question number 7. When you're frustrated or upset, how do you cope? Do you take it out on your partner or do you manage it constructively? This shows emotional regulation, patience, and possible red flags to the max. Self-regulation is very important. Just like an infant soothes themselves, after a caregiver puts a child to bed, the infant soothes themselves. Can you self-regulate after a disruption in your routine? Is that possible? Number 8, if your partner spends time with friends, co-workers, or family, do you trust them or do you get insecure and controlling? Reveals trust, maturity, emotional security. Trust is important. People are autonomous. Let that be your roadmap. And I made up these questions myself. Number 9, how important is it to you for you? How important is it that your partner shares your life goals and values? Would you compromise or expect them to match yours completely? This shows flexibility, self-centeredness, willingness to co-create a future. What if you get into a deep relationship with someone and their values change? What happens? Would you be willing to continue that relationship or would you leave? That's number 9. Number 10, how do you handle small annoyances like chores, habits, or routines without letting them turn into big, gigantic fights? This shows patience, respect, and practical emotional intelligence. Practical emotional intelligence. Okay? If patience or quick to anger, if you're patient or you're quick to anger about something in your past, can you accept a person who is completely different from you without changing your attitude towards that person? So these are the 10 questions that I came up with, and I've been thinking about them for the past week. How can I shape them? How can I, give them to a person? And this is supposed to help a person realize whether they're ready to be married or not. Okay? Because a lot of people think they're ready for marriage, but they're not. You can want to be married, but you don't know how to be married. You don't know how to choose marriage. You don't know how to choose relationships. And with that, that's Love Check in a nutshell. These 10 questions may look simple, but they go deeper into a person's psyche and how they respond in relationships. They reveal whether someone has the emotional intelligence, maturity, self-awareness to make a marriage work. There cannot be an overabundance of selfishness in a marriage if you want it to work. And this quiz is designed to show if you're willing to grow or if you need more growing to do. This is not an all-encompassing 10-question bulletin, but these are questions that you should be asking your spouse or your significant other before you get married. These 10 questions that we will answer, that we will begin to answer, and we want contestants. We want people to come up. You don't have to show your face. You don't even have to be on camera. We can just hear your voice. But we will present these 10 questions or similar questions. These are not necessarily the all-encompassing questions because our audience can actually suggest a question if they send it in a super chat or follow-up question in a super chat, right? So this is not all-encompassing. We're not saying this will get you to the goal, but this will get you to a path where you understand where you're at on the scale of maturity enough to be somebody's wife or husband. So in future episodes, we will be bringing on the guests to answer the same questions, similar questions, same or similar, in real time. I want it to be in real time. We can have 1 or 2 guests per show. That's it. And you can come up and you don't have to be on camera. You can come up and say X, Y, and Z. I want to answer the 10 questions. I want to answer the 10 questions, HQ. So please. So remember, if you want the questions to keep flowing, super chats are going to be $5 or more for you to keep the conversation going. You want to answer a question. If they get on camera, you can ask them anything, and you got to be willing to come up and answer anything when you come up, okay? And it's going to be in a super chat if you want to do it. If you want to say something, that's a $2 super chat, okay? I haven't asked for super chats because I've been building up to this particular platform, so that you didn't have to get used to super chats with me. But with the love check, we require super chats if you want to participate and be a part of the audience. We want the audience also to answer questions in the comment section. So by the end of this 10 checks, marriage will not be a fantasy to you. It will not be something that's just inside your head. Marriage is not a fantasy. It's about reality. It's about you being real. Okay, with yourself. It's about two people who are honest enough, strong enough, mature enough to build a life together. We want to find out if you think you're ready to get married. Let's answer these questions together. Let's do that. And the audience will have input. They'll if they want their answer read, they'll put it in a $2 super chat. If not, then we won't get the super chats. But that's how we're gonna play the game. Okay, so go back and listen to this video. It's not that long. It's only about 15 minutes long. I wanted to introduce Love Check. Next Thursday, we're going to do Love Check next Thursday, 6 p.m. So get good and ready, anybody who wants. I will be advertising for the show. Make sure, hey, Black America, make sure you want to be in, because I'm all about getting in relationships. I'm not all about we just asking dumb questions. We're asking the questions that people need to know about their partner. You can go back and reflect on this. Come up on the camera. Come up. You don't have to be on camera. It doesn't matter. Sometimes maybe we got to be at one point or another, but right now we don't. So if you want to be a guest, we will definitely say, hey, come on up and ask it. And it'd just be really simple. It'd be similar to the format like we've been having. You come up on the stage and then we ask the questions. And then the audience gets to ask the questions, okay? So go back, look at the front, look at that. I have a different intro, I have a different exit, we'll have all that good stuff, right? But right now, this is our soft launch. So thank you all for watching this first informational. Don't forget to subscribe, share with someone, please, and thank you. For someone who wants to find love, you have an idea of the questions that I will be answering. You have a question. As regular people, you have a question, so you can formulate new questions. Send me the new questions in my email. Say, hey, I think this is a better question. Maybe this is a better question and blah, 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 right? But I'd prefer if you wait until the show, and then we can get in good and dig in good with people who want to actually see how mature they are on the X, Y, and Z level. So share this with somebody who wants to find love. Get ready, because next time it won't be just me on the hot seat. It'll be the guest. And we'll see if people truly want to get married around here. Because people say, we want to have a good partner. We want to find love. We want to have Okay, let's see. Let's see if you're telling the truth. Fatty said he going to be one of the first contestants. So September 18th is the day. This is Love Check. This is HQ, where love really gets real. And it's not just a game. It's for real, for real.